Lay's, Sam's Club had filet mignons for $5 a piece, and I can't say no.
Oh man, I would not say no to that either. That's pretty good. I
Yeah, it's strong.
I tried that carnivore diet that did the last Tuesday when we were here,
Yeah,
and man, I gotta say I feel like very meaty, just full at the end of the day. It's
that's so
it,
strange.
it's
What
it's
was your macros? Did you track macros? Because I'm curious if you had enough fat.
no, I well I did. I had 30. I had 30. Well, no, 40 because I had 20 grams of fat in each of the ground beef I ate because I ate 80% lean and then 20% was fat for both of the ground beefs that I ate. And I made burgers and then I made like a bowl with it at the end of it.
So what was your total fat for the day? Like mine's 170 a day.
I didn't track it like that. I just yeah. I mean
Okay.
it's just a lot. Well, I had some fish too in there, so there was some more fat with some butter. Well, I cooked it with butter and all that. So I like the what is it uh, the kind of butter that comes in the bottle um, that you could cook with.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I forget what it's called, but you buy it from Trader Joe's and get it.
I don't
But
even know what that is. Sounds
yeah,
great though. Sounds like a
yeah,
great place.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh man, yeah, yeah. Trader Joe's here on the West Coast. Everyone swears by it. It's a great supermarket to go to, but
Okay.
little overrated. It's kind of like the craze about Whole Foods. Everyone swears by Whole Foods or something, but
Do you have like a fresh market there or a fresh time and all that stuff?
no. Like
I
you
think that's
come,
more Midwest.
yeah. No, we have like stuff like Trader Joe's, Whole Foods,
Hmm.
and Sprouts and all that. But yeah,
No idea. No idea what you're even
all,
talking
all,
about.
all, all West Coast stuff, man.
And I
Yeah,
bet I bet you don't have a Piggly Wiggly.
we don't have a Piggly Wiggly. We have a
Now that's a strong grocery store, the Piggly Wiggly.
don't have a Piggly Wiggly. We have a let's see, the closest thing like yeah, man. It's just like Whole Foods is like the thing over here. Um, just overpriced grocery markets. Yeah, that's
I
fine.
bet. It goes along with your rents and everything else out there, so I'm sure it's great. I'm
Yeah,
sure it's
yeah,
great.
man. Rents are great over here in California. If you want to move to California, man,
I
you
couldn't do it. I
end up
wouldn't.
end up like this guy.
Oh, I wouldn't be able to make a living out there. It's too expensive.
It is another realm of expensive, yes. But yeah, man, let's dive into some sports talk.
Do it.
We got a lot going on, man. I think we should talk some NFL stuff with the draft being just a few weeks away.
Yeah.
I guess what you saw yesterday, some rumors about Jordan Love maybe getting traded to the Pats, especially with you saw this. So I'll let you talk about it.
I mean, my gut is if they do go after Jordan Love, which I think could absolutely be a play, um, then in some ways the Packers are saying we're going to stick with Rodgers beyond even contract. I would think.
Well, and that's the thing is Rodgers has obviously made it open that the demands what he wants from the Packers, and we haven't. It's been really relatively dead. Haven't heard
Yeah.
anything about any extension talks or whatnot. And Rodgers has made it clear that he wants like a 4-year deal extension,
Yeah.
and I'm just sure that's going to come with Love being traded, right?
I mean, it would have to, right? I mean, they're not going to give up the next in line. I mean, that was a big pick
Right. Well,
that they
what number?
used.
Yeah, that was like in the top 15 or something, right? That they used
Hmm.
to get him in, and that's yeah. I mean, for someone like the Patriots, who I think they're going to try to be sneaky in some other way, they have a pretty good
Oh,
draft
yeah.
pick. They have a really good draft pick. I think the Packers wouldn't say no to that. I think the Patriots are picking what 15 or 16, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, they're picking around that same level. So I would not think that the Packers would say no to that.
Yeah, it just depends on what the direction they want to go with Love. You know, if they don't see him as the next big thing for their organization inside of 3 years,
Do you trade Rodgers though? Like, because that's the other thing. Or do you just let the year play out and you let him walk?
see the other thing is you could get the world for Rodgers too, right?
I would trade him. I mean, if
Uh,
you're just sold on him, I know he won the MVP, but God, can you imagine 4 or 5 first round picks for Rodgers?
Yeah, and you could get that.
Oh, easily. Yeah, I
And,
think.
I mean, what if honestly they traded Rodgers to the Patriots instead, and they put Love in the at the helm, and they get all the draft picks in the world and build around Love for the first time? Actually, build around their quarterback.
I don't think Bill. I don't think Bill Belichick would do that. I just don't. He
It'd be
won't.
awesome though.
It would be fun to watch, but I just don't see it happening.
I mean,
But
card market impact already. You're starting to see Jordan Love stuff selling about 30% higher in
oh,
one
really?
day. Yeah. I think his stuff's already underpriced. Like I think even some of his big stuff is a good buy right now.
Okay. I
I mean,
I
I personally, if I hit a Love right now, I'm rather hitting that over Tua and Hurts.
yeah. Well, I don't put it above Hertz just yet because Hertz is actually starting next year. So, but definitely over Tua. I just someone long term. I don't hip injury anything with injuries, man. That just scares me, especially when you're a first, second year quarterback. Like especially coming off of an injury in college, that impact is really pretty severe in the NFL. I just am not a big fan of that.
Who do you think has a better career long term and more wins? Jordan Love at the Packers or Pats, or Hurts at the Eagles? With
Uh,
current team around them again. Like I'm not saying build around, I'm saying current team because I think Love could go to the Pats right now and be a winning quarterback.
yeah, well, I think the Patriots are already going to win 8 games with the team that they assembled, and Bill Belichick being the coach, I think that already, just gives them 6 wins. I still think Bill Belichick is the greatest coach ever. There's no definitely, I think his defense alone will win them 6 games. So get them a comparable quarterback. I think they can win 10 games this year for sure. Especially,
So who's greater career,
um,
Love
I,
or Hurts?
well, I don't know enough about Love. I mean, I didn't watch him in college, and obviously he doesn't play in the NFL, so it's just or he hasn't really made his debut really. So it's just hard to
Are
say.
you
I think Hurts or I think Jalen Hurts has the more immediate impact. He's starting next year supposedly, unless the Eagles are going to trade into the top 10 and try to draft a quarterback, which I hope they don't. And
yeah?
I just think it's a really I mean, Jalen Hurts, I know he showed some inconsistencies last year, but I think that guy with the full offseason and some really good weapons around him, the Eagles could draft another wide receiver and actually give him somebody good instead of drafting Jalen Rieger or they passed up Justin Jefferson and drafted Jalen Rieger, but that's another story. Um, yeah, it's unbelievable, man. The Eagles and their drafting, there's so much unknowns with that team. So I still think Jalen Hurts will have the more immediate impact over Love, but I just don't know enough about Love. But I think I would invest in Hurts right now. I have a I have a few of his cards, and I'm just gonna hold them. I don't see why not.
Yeah. I mean, I can just tell you the hobby pulse right now is that Love is the next big thing.
Yeah, I can see that. There's a lot of obviously the Packers are high on them. I think they could judge. They could obviously judge quarterback talent. They've had two very good the two of the top quarterbacks ever for 25 years now, 26. Yeah. And like,
Well, and consider they drafted him, and then Rodgers comes out and has an MVP season.
yeah, yeah,
You know, was one play away from a Super Bowl potentially. You know, it
yeah,
just seems to me like they're sold on Love, and if they're sold on Love, given their history, I think that the hobby's going to respond to that.
yeah. It's obviously draft day is going to tell a lot. If they don't trade Love by draft day and give Rodgers some more weapons, I really think Rodgers is going to, obviously go on radio and talk somewhere, and rightfully so. Rodgers, has earned that. He's the MVP. He proved it last year that he could do it with the. I'm not saying he doesn't have any weapons. I think he does have some, but wonder how that offense would look with another weapon or two there and maybe a better offensive line.
Yep. I'll be interested to see if they utilize AJ Dillon too, because they
Yeah,
spent a pretty big pick on Dillon too. So
but that's just the other thing with the Packers is Rodgers is so he was really good last year, and I obviously did not see that coming. I didn't think he should have won the MVP. But I mean, the guy was playing out of his mind, and if that team could just get a little bit better overall, I really think they're going to have a more just significant impact. I mean, the Bears, they're not going to. I mean, with Fitzmagic is good, but I don't think they're going to beat the Packers in the division. And
No way.
the Vikings, who knows what we're going to get from Kirk Cousins, and God, I forgot the other team in the division. Um, the Bears, Vikings, Packers, and the Lions. They stink. So, I mean,
Hmm.
you're gonna have 6 wins in that division, I think already. So they just get another player around them. Rodgers, whether this is Rodgers last year or not, it's gonna be interesting. Why not trade Jordan Love? Get what you can for him, or trade Aaron Rodgers and get 5 first-round draft picks for him.
Where
Where are you at on Aaron Rodgers cards, by the way? Do you want his rookies?
no,
If
just
he
zero interest.
if he were to win the Super Bowl like next year, does he have the same hobby value as like Peyton Manning does now? Is that like that's a pretty good comparison, right?
I mean, Manning's really loved.
Right, right,
That's
right. Rodgers is really
even if
loved by people.
in maybe in his home state,
Yeah,
the hobby doesn't love Aaron Rodgers.
yeah, I can see that.
I mean, his big stuff brings big money, but his average stuff is nowhere near as good as Manning's average stuff.
Yeah, like a sky. Yeah,
The one thing is like Aaron Rodgers for a long time didn't sign much, so his autograph cards are worth a lot, whereas Manning signed in every product.
uh,
But Manning's also just kind of got that good personality, and Rodgers, I think, has always kind of been standoffish.
yeah. It is likability. You're totally right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big reason why I think Dame Lillard doesn't bring near the money Curry does. To transition into some of that, but Curry's likable and Dame isn't likable.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about basketball here. I mean, well, obviously Curry he has 3 rings too, and Lillard
Yeah,
doesn't have 3 rings.
but even
Or
just like respect, like nobody talks about Dame as a top 25. You don't even hear his name really.
yeah, I mean, no, they talk about him as I think I think he's definitely known as a top 10 player in the league. But you are right. He playing in Portland, he doesn't get the amount of respect as if he were playing in Los Angeles. Oh my God, he would be.
I don't know. I don't know if he's top 20 in the league.
Oh man, yeah, come on, he's definitely top
I
10.
mean, I can
I,
I can rattle some names.
I go ahead. I mean, okay, so
Russell
well,
Westbrook. Is he better than Russell
oh
Westbrook?
my God, come on, that's not even.
Have you seen Russell Westbrook's stats?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you know
Stats
what he's doing?
in a
Do you know
seven
what he's doing?
in a 7 game series. Go ahead. I'll take Damian Lillard any day over. That's fine. Russell Westbrook also won the MVP off of stats, and that was the worst MVP pick ever. Obviously, that guy got eliminated in the first round. Russell Westbrook, fantastic player. I'm not disrespecting him in any way, but there's no way
Top 10.
he's not better than Damian Lillard, man. No way.
Stop.
You're
Stop.
crazy. I think people watching this would even agree or listening to
Are
this.
you gonna are you gonna are you gonna tell me that he's better than KD too?
No, he's not better than Kevin Durant, but he's definitely up there with Kevin
Anthony
Durant.
Davis. Anthony Davis.
No, he's not better than Anthony Davis. But
We could keep going.
yeah, okay.
AD.
Giannis, AD. So
Hmm.
Giannis, AD, Kevin Durant, LeBron, and then now it starts to get there. Okay, who else?
Harden.
I would take Lillard over Harden. I would take Lillard over Harden.
Kawhi.
Okay, he's not better than Kawhi. No.
Clay.
Yes, he's better than Clay. Clay cannot do it on his own. Come on. That's a joke
No.
now. He's not better than Clay
No.
Thompson, or he's better than Clay Thompson.
I'll make you a top 20 list and I'll leave him out and we'll see what you think.
That's fine, man. You just named 2 other players who can't even compete with them. I'm talking about just overall, not only toughness, but like just things that they have been up against. And I've just watched Lillard do it on his own. That team in Portland has been hurt this whole season, and that guy is higher than Curry on the MVP talk. He just is.
You know what?
What?
You know what Clay has though, right?
What? Yeah. So what? And that's because of Curry, and that's because
It
of
does
Durant.
matter. It
It
does
no.
matter.
I'm saying from
He
a
was
stand.
an integral part. He was an integral part of those championships.
I did not say he wasn't. He is totally is. He is one of the greatest shooters of all time, And
Better than Dame.
uh, like I said, it's just. But if you're going to build a team around somebody, you're not going to build it around Klay Thompson over Damian Lillard. You're just not.
Well, no, he's a 2 to a 1. I mean, it's
But
not even
no,
the
no,
same
no.
scenario.
But what I'm trying to say is you're not going to if you're going to draft it, one or the other. You're drafting Lillard over Klay Thompson. You're not, and to
Oh
start
yeah,
a,
again,
to start to
a
start a
one versus
team
a
with.
two.
To start a team with, you're not going to draft him over. It's not like right now. Damian Lillard is in the top 5 in the MVP talks. He just is. You have to because his team has been hurt all year, and McCollum, has been inconsistent and he's been out a little bit. And Lillard's been there, and that team has a winning record.
Would you take him over Booker?
Of course, yeah.
Mm.
Booker has done it. Look what Booker's done. I mean, Chris Paul has definitely brought that team, out of the limelight. But like, that is all. Chris Paul, like Booker. Don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic player. He's so young that of course you would want him right now. But Lillard's definitely, like I said, top 10 guy.
When the Suns win the championship this year,
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, they're getting ready to be the 1 seed. I don't know if you've seen, they've been housing everybody.
Yeah, well, I mean the Utah's fell off a little bit with Mitchell being hurt, so it's they
Yeah,
the Suns have been lucky they haven't experienced that many injuries. You
yeah.
know, they've
I
been
think they lucked themselves into a ring this year.
I wouldn't say luck themselves. If they win, they definitely won deservingly. I mean, obviously with AD and LeBron being hurt, that's a whole nother thing. But I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, if they don't come back, it's a lot easier path too.
oh yeah, well they're coming back. Anthony Davis comes back I think next week, and LeBron will be back shortly the
But
following.
they have to come back true to form too.
Yeah, I think they're gonna take it easy in the season. They're definitely gonna they're gonna be fine in the first round. I promise.
But I think that's where it's going to kick LeBron out of MVP talk too, because if
Oh,
he does come back and
LeBron's not
I
in
mean,
MVP no more.
what if he came back and he starts averaging 40 a game and just housing everybody?
He's missed way too many games. The, the MVP has now come down to either come down to LeBron or sorry, Embiid or Joker. And Joker after his
Hmm.
performance yesterday, and the team's still winning without Jamal
Hmm.
Murray. It's incredible. And Joker stats are just unbelievable. That guy, I mean, his passing ability. That guy has eyes in the back of his head, and he's the best passing big man since Duncan. And man, that guy's unbelievable.
I think right now Giannis is still in the top 4
Yeah,
on MVP.
Giannis is there too. It's those two, Giannis, Lillard, and I guess you could move Curry into there, just because I think LeBron's out of it. I just don't think he cares anymore. He just wants to be healthy for the playoffs. That's his. But if LeBron had played the whole season, I think LeBron would have been the MVP for sure.
I mean, there was talks of Mitchell before he got hurt.
Yeah, I even said Mitchell last week, but I just think Mitchell, playing in Utah, and even though they had the best record, I think it's an overall team thing, and I just think Mitchell would have had to put up some more dominant numbers now after kind of looking at it. But yeah, out of all those guys, who are you going after in hobby value? Do you like Joker? Like, would you go after his Prism? Who do you like the most?
No.
Obviously, Curry rookie cards are,
Yeah, I mean, Curry's going to be my pick, and he's also my number 1 favorite player of all time.
his stuff is just so expensive. If you're trying to invest in one of these guys in cards, who are you going to invest in?
I wouldn't. That's the thing. Like, just being completely upfront. Like, Joker stuff's cool, but to me, I look at Joker as a linebacker in the NFL. He's great, but next year, if he averages 20 points instead of these crazy stats, no one's going to care about that dude. He plays for a team that's irrelevant. I don't see it being an issue.
They're not irrelevant, but he doesn't play in a big market team. That's what you mean, I think.
I think what I mean is, are you under any assumption that they can win an NBA championship this year?
Well, not no more because Jamal Murray, and obviously it's
Right.
going to hurt their chances too next year because he won't be back until March next year.
Yeah. So basically, from an investment standpoint, unless I'm buying Joker for cheap, which isn't real because his stuff's super expensive right now,
Right.
there's just no value. There's no value for you.
What about? I know, yeah, Dame stuff is, his stuff is always mixed. You
Yeah.
know,
It's
you
just
don't.
never been super high end. I don't know.
I mean, it's like high, but it's not like as high as you would put it up there with the other guys. What about you? Think I think Mitchell stuff is undervalued.
100%. I think it's a great time to buy him.
Mitchell, especially for the before the playoffs, and then
Hmm.
where you at on Embiid stuff? I mean, the guy's hurt. I don't like buying hurt players stuff. It just
I don't like buying big men that don't have the word Zion in front of their names. I just
I,
don't. They get hurt all the time, and I think they're never flashy enough. Because if you're a big guy, you're probably not a big 3 point shooter. Which in this league, I think people want the big splashy,
well, well,
game winners.
I mean, Embiid could shoot. It's just if he could stay on the court. I mean, he's missed I think 20 games almost this year, if I'm not wrong. That's another reason why he's not going to win the MVP. I don't think is because he's just missed way too much time.
Yeah,
I think that just really matters, missing that much time.
yeah. I mean, if you're not out there, you're out of sight, out of mind too.
No, totally, totally, yeah. So
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
think at
guess
the end of it,
Donovan
it's
Mitchell.
yeah. Donovan Mitchell, you're a hot buy on.
I think it would be okay. I mean, again, I think he comes back. I think he's still going to be dominant. I think he's got a nickname, which I think is relevant as
Yeah,
well. If you have a nickname, your stuff seems to be a little better.
and
Um,
he's pretty relevant on Twitter too. And I really think the social being
mhm.
relevant on social media really has a big impact.
Oh, 100%.
Where do you add on Kyrie stuff? Do you like a lot of Kyrie stuff?
Not at all.
Is it because
But
the
I think
player, kind of player that he is?
I think it's that, and I think he, again, on a lot of levels, just isn't a good personality for the game.
Yeah, no, that I definitely agree with. It's 5, 6 years ago, before LeBron had went back to Cleveland, I was like, oh man, like Kyrie is definitely, I think the guy. And then
Hmm.
it ended up being Curry. Curry was the guy,
Yeah,
and and then still Kyrie was still definitely right there. Even following that finals, when he put the finals away in Game 7, you're like, man, this guy is gonna be a monster. And then he just started to, and I don't blame him for wanting his own spotlight. It was kind of like what Tracy McGrady did with Vince Carter back in the day. He wanted his own spotlight, but
yeah.
he just did it in such a bizarre way. I mean,
I just think if it's me, I would rather buy AD than Kyrie.
yes, yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, they both have one ring, trying to chase another, and with Anthony Davis, like I think, yeah, more long term Anthony Davis stuff for sure. And
Yeah.
he's in that is he in the awkward year where like because of the shortened season, or was that was a Kawhi's year? The 12-13 season where it was like
Hmm.
the rookies that he's in that same year, right?
Yep.
Where all this
The,
stuff hit.
the 2012 stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that was a pretty good draft class looking back at it.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a ton of Kentucky players too, and that
Yeah,
always seems to be a thing, at least until recent times.
right. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, man, let's talk some more cards. I know what's getting ready to come out is some MMA stuff. We had I didn't watch the fight, Jake Paul versus the UFC fighter they fought against. I'm just not a fan of those kinds of things, really. I like true boxing, I
Yeah.
like true MMA. But
I think
MMA
it's a
is coming
money
back.
grab.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a money grab, but yeah, not PSA. Prism is putting out the first UFC product they've ever put out. It's coming out in the next month. Um, should be absolutely insane. The silvers are going to be huge of the rookies.
Like Conor McGregor, I mean, obviously the first people to buy are you going to be able to buy these retail in Target or Walmart?
Nobody's said yet. We
Got
haven't
it.
been able to order it yet, so I don't think so. I think it's going to be a hobby only product.
Oh wow. So that's going to be big for people like
Hmm.
yourself, right?
Yeah, I mean, if it is hobby only, it's going to be insane. I mean, they're already 1,000 a box now.
So how wow, 1,000 a box right now. How would you
Hmm.
distribute that as a breaker?
We'll probably do some single box breaks. It'll be just like 35 spots, maybe. I got to see the checklist.
Right.
And what we'll probably do is either a hit draft. where essentially, everything gets opened and then we randomize the list of people who got in it and then they pick what card or cards they want.
Right.
Or we'll do it by the total checklist. Let's say there's, and again, I haven't seen the checklist. Let's say there's 100 fighters.
Yeah.
It would be 100 spots at a certain amount of money. So in this case, like 100 spots at $10, and you would get a fighter for that $10. So if you
Right.
get McGregor, every McGregor we pull, you're in for $10, but you get all the McGregor cards. If we hit an auto, a silver, a base, whatever, you get it.
That's gonna be just insane. I mean, obviously McGregor being the most marketable fighter, and now he's coming
Yep,
back. He's coming back for the third fight. I don't know if you saw that against
I
Justin.
did.
Yeah, and so I really think that's gonna be a huge thing. I saw one of his cards. Who is his name? Dustin Poirier, or he
Yeah,
just
that's it.
I saw one of his autograph cards. And so, did UFC have cards before, or am I mistaken?
They did. No, they did. They actually had cards as far back as like 2013. There was a product came out called Donruss Americana, and they had a Ring Kings autograph set with like Matt Hughes, Gina Carano, a lot of the old time fighters. Hoist Gracie, I believe, might have been in that set. And then Topps had the UFC rights for a while as well, and
Oh,
they were putting out stuff for years. Like the first rookie McGregor is a Topps card, and it brings crazy money. The first Rousey brings crazy money. Like I'm talking like 8, 10,000.
yeah,
You
I
know.
believe it. Yeah, especially Rousey with her hype back then.
Hmm.
So with McGregor being the first of Prism, why is Prism looked at much more valuable than it's just because the cards are cool, or all right,
I think it's that, and then there's also like in basketball and football, Prism is considered the top of the food chain as far as I'm concerned.
elite? Yeah,
It's what's considered like their true rookies is the Prism. I mean, that's the benchmark essentially.
got it.
Like if you look up a player, you're looking up their Prism gems to kind of give an indication of if they're selling for a lot or not.
So this is like a Topps Chrome. Like if you're like looking for like a LeBron rookie, the Topps
Yeah,
Chrome is the card that you want, right? I got it.
yeah, yeah, 100%. And again, in Prism, we're gonna have golds. Like there's gonna be numbered to 10 stuff. Like it's gonna get creepy crazy.
Wow. Well, and then we also have another sport which is booming. Yesterday, big news in soccer. They're coming out with their Super League, funded
Yeah.
by J.P. Morgan. They're backing them for 4.2 billion. That's a
Hmm.
billion, and I think they have a total about 6 billion in funding for this.
Yeah.
And and there's teams like Barcelona. You have all the major players in there. Besides, they didn't include PSG in there,
Hmm.
and that's Neymar's team. I kind of
Yeah.
thought that was interesting. Neymar being one of the more one of the top players in the world,
Maybe
and
the 6 billion wasn't enough to cover his salary.
I just his salary is oh my god, I think he's one of the I think he's like fourth or fifth on soccer, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's crazy, a team like theirs, not being included, but they also did this to I think they said save soccer, which I'm laughing at because soccer is the most popular sport in the world. But I think it's really interesting, and I'm just at the top of my head. I think why they did this is to really launch it globally. I think they're really trying to go after the
Hmm.
global market, especially. I think they do see what's going on in cards. I think that is definitely a thing that they might be noticing, and I think cards globally as well. Like they're like, oh my god, this stuff is huge. Like let's get into this. They're going to tap into another just market, and I think it's going to be insane for what soccer's going to come to, especially with the World Cup, a year away. That's another reason why people the soccer cards are going so big. How much is a box of hobby box of soccer right now?
Depending on product, you're talking 700 and up.
The one you showed us one earlier. Well, which one was that?
Yeah, where's the camera? There's the camera.
Right there.
Prism Hobby EPL. That's anywhere from 800 to 1,000.
That and what would that have been 3 or 4 years ago?
300.
Oh, okay. So I mean, it was still high, but God, it's like
Yeah.
tripled in value now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's
Wow.
always, I mean, Prism's always expensive, but like, put it this way, Topps MLS soccer, 2 years ago, I was selling boxes for 100. Now they're 300. So yeah, it's about triple everything.
Oh wow. Okay. And
Yep.
that's just everywhere. But you could still buy EPL boxes at the like Target, right? Like
Yep. They don't
retail.
have the hobby exclusives, so you're not going to get like the kabooms. You're not going to get the autographs. You're not going to
The
get the numbered stuff.
the Kaboom cards are so cool. I those are really
Yeah.
cool looking cards. Do they
But
make
yeah,
do
you
they
can
make those?
absolutely.
They make those in basketball too, right?
Uh huh.
I don't think I've seen any football ones, but yeah, saw it.
They do.
Do they? Okay.
Mhm.
And then are they gonna do downtown ones too in soccer?
I have not seen one yet.
Yeah.
That would be amazing, though.
Right. Yeah, that'd be kind
I
of
think
cool.
it's probably coming because the downtown thing's so hot.
Really hot. I mean,
Yeah, like a Herbert downtown 10 just sold for almost 5 Gs.
wow. I wonder what a Mahomes would be if once he
And
gets
a
out.
10 probably 2,500 to 3,000.
Oh, okay. Is it just
So
her?
it's gonna be.
Well, that's interesting. Is it just the hype around Herbert just so much right now that like I mean, I would still want to invest over Mahomes, right? Like 100%.
I mean,
And
here's the thing. Like, it depends on what's your goal. Is your goal to invest in a hot rookie that could come out flat his sophomore year, or could come out and be great but still plays for the Chargers? The benefit of Mahomes is I think he's a gold standard guy at this point,
oh yeah, I mean,
and he's on a team that's winning, and he's a threat to win the Super Bowl.
yeah, every year he's this guy Mahomes is even though I know he lost to Brady, like I mean, he's just the next guy. He's like Aaron Rodgers on steroids with Peyton Manning's IQ and you know just the
Well, I mean,
tangibility.
think about this. Everybody has lost to Brady.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Brady's the goat, and you know no
But
one's
that's the
ever.
thing. I mean, it's like I don't think it's going to hurt his legacy that he lost one to Brady.
No,
He lost it. They lost it pretty bad. That's the only thing that's kind of rough is like to not even put a touchdown up against that defense. It's a little rough, but
that yeah. I mean the offense. Yeah, that's definitely going to hurt it. But I think going into it next year, they're still the Kansas City Chiefs are still the team to beat. I mean,
if that kid can play another 20 years, right? Which again, Brady's basically doing that. So if he
yeah,
could do that, he could end up with more rings than Brady.
it's not going to happen. I'll say it right now. It's not going to happen. I think it's so hard to do what Brady did, and the fact that Brady did it like in separate spans. You know, three in his first 4 years or 5 years, and you know then capping off four more in the last eight. I just think was just not only really hard, but like Brady was also a different kind of quarterback. Like I know Mahomes is like totally gifted and stuff. I just think the way that Brady plays, obviously Mahomes is more dynamic in everything that he does, but I just think with Brady's just being smarter than everybody else on the field was just get rid of the ball, don't get hit. Like that is just it. Brady's like, I'm not going to get hit, and that's how I'd stay healthy, and he just did it every year. And you know, people can make fun of him for however he plays, but man, that guy every year, man, 10 wins, 12 wins, just when you know. I just think it's
Yeah.
so hard to do what he just did.
Well, and the other issue we are going to have with the Chiefs is it's going to be hard to keep all of those studs at the cap too. I mean, the money is going to get crazy on some of these guys, especially if they all start winning rings.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's the other thing. It's well, I mean, like they have some of their players locked up, and I mean, Kelsey, he's already over 30. You know, Hill's gonna reach that sooner or later, where he's just over the the hill. No pun intended.
Yeah.
But it's just with those speedy guys. I mean, man, one bad injury, it's. But I still think Mahomes is like where Peyton Manning and Brady had it for so many years, where they just didn't have weapons, and all their players would be hurt, but they still made things happen. I mean, Rodgers too, he's done that, but like where
So
those.
let me pitch you something. If you had to put $1,000 into a player and you can't sell that player until the cards you buy double, are you buying Herbert,
Or
Jordan Love, or Mahomes. Because again,
it's Mahomes. I mean, dude, like,
we're saying double. So we're talking about like $1,000 rookie is going to become 2,000. How? How?
I
Like
mean,
his stuff's so expensive now. Is it still investable?
right now I do think so. I think his stuff is down. I think people are selling. Like, I would invest in a downtown Patrick Mahomes, a raw one, whatever. If I pulled it, some, for $800, or I think they go for 800 or 700. Because I think that car, like, obviously you see the second, third year Brady's tops chrome,
Hmm.
those things are selling, for well over
Yeah.
5-10 grand. Why not? Even that, like, 07, 08 tops chromes of Brady are still selling for ridiculously high money.
Here's my gut though. Let's say we'll just for easy numbers on Mahomes downtown's 1,000. For that card to become 2,000, what the heck does that kid have to do? But if a Jordan Love is 100 for a downtown and I can buy 10 of them, can Jordan Love downtowns become 200 easier than a Mahomes can become 2,000?
Well, yeah, if you're looking at it like that, if you're going to compare, all Jordan Love needs to do is to make the playoffs, especially with how hot the market is right now. Obviously, if you had a
Or get
Pat,
traded to the
yeah,
Pats?
or yeah, or that, but also the thing with Patrick Mahomes is the fact that he is, if you got his rookie card, I'm sitting on that thing. If you just give me one of the same player's rookie card prisms, I'll take Patrick Mahomes over the other two. I mean, like I said, I love Herbert stuff. Everyone's obviously on his bandwagon, and I rightfully so. The guy's amazing, and I really hope he is going to continue to be amazing. But I've just seen with Patrick Mahomes, like, this guy is the guy. And he's, like, if you're going to take anybody else over in baseball, it's like you're not taking nobody else over Mike Trout. Mike Trout's the guy. And I'm talking about just obviously, Brady's still in the league, but, Brady could, if he has one bad injury, he's pretty much done. He's 44, 45 years old next season.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just look at guys that are already that expensive.
right.
I think on the investment side, you've missed the window. And I don't
Yeah.
like to buy. I don't like to buy things that have already peaked. And it's really hard for $1,000 card to become 2,000. Not everybody has that kind of money, but you know what
Right.
everybody has that's in the hobby? $100.
That is true. Yeah, if you're looking for a money grab right now, go out and, I mean, just get some, go out and get some boxes of Optic and hope that you get some Herberts, because,
Yeah.
or some Loves. You're gonna be able to find those cards, and you hold them, get them graded, and if you can hold them for a few years, yeah, do it. But still, that, or even Burrow. I think Burrow's gonna come back and, still do
Oh
something.
yeah. I mean, money wise, he's really close to Herbert still.
Yeah, he is. He really is. His stuff is insane. But
But again, I'm not going to go out and buy Burrow at these prices. But I would buy Jordan Love if I'm trying to double my money. Which in my world, that's more important than anything. Is.
well, it's like, and let's go to baseball now. You know,
Hmm.
last week Tatis was hurt. His stuff was down.
Yep.
He comes back Friday night, hits a home run against the Dodgers. I looked the next day, stuff is just back up,
Oh
increases
yeah.
$100 overnight, literally.
Yep.
And I mean, because I think some people were still, like, waiting to see how he came back from the injury. But, and you can see, I saw his rookie card, the one where he's throwing sidearm tops.
Uh huh.
That one was selling for like 240, 230, whatever, and
Hmm.
instantly back up right over 330, 325, like,
Oh yeah.
overnight. It wasn't even like that. They knew he was coming back. The card still sat there at that, but I think people were still worried about the injury because of what they heard. And he hits the bomb and instantly
Oh
changed
yeah.
the prices. But
Well, people message us all the time and ask like, who should I buy? And now Otani's hot again, and people are messaging me and saying, hey, should I buy Otani? My answer is, if you like him, I guess, but absolutely, there's no reason to invest in a guy that's hot. Buy him a year ago when his stuff was in the tank, and you could buy it for nothing.
yeah,
Right? To me, like the better investment strategy is not to buy the hottest flavor of the week. I don't understand that goal. Like, what's your goal there?
I totally agree with you. I don't understand. I stay away from I'm just staying away from all the newer guys. I do have some Jalen Hurts stuff because I'm an Eagles fan, and I think his stuff is going to pop. And when it does, I will sell. I bought all this
Yeah.
stuff really low, and I was like, why not? But also,
But if he did pop and you went out and just like plowed money into him at the top of the market, that's so nuts. Like, what's the benefit of that?
right? Yeah, exactly. And it's just don't buy it all. I think people are like so like fixated that they need to buy these top guys. You could go out and buy some older players and just keep their stuff. The thing about players that they're and I'll call them GOAT players, like players that have already played and been retired, they're not going down. Like Kobe stuff, their stuff not his stuff might go down because it was so high, but that value still can be there. Obviously, just look at Jordan stuff. His value has been here, there, and it's going to stay there. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, I would even go after the older players, like stuff like Julius Irving, Kareem, all their stuff. I mean, God, their stuff is so underpriced in basketball, and then like in football, finally you start seeing the Barry Sanders, Dan Marino, like those cards are finally
Hmm.
popping. They're finally popping.
See, what I think is weird is like Jordan rookie PSA 8 for his 86 87 Fleer before the documentary were $6,000. At the height of the Jordan run up, which was just a few months ago now,
Right,
they got as high as about 18,000 for centered ones. And now they're down to around 11,000.
right,
So if you bought at 18, if you bought in at the hype, you've now lost 7,000 on paper. If you bought them at 6,000 before the documentary, you're still up 5.
right.
Would I buy one at 11? No. But I think those are going to come back to about 8,500. And I think at 8,500, that's going to be the new kind of bottom.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it's gonna take like Jordan, something's gonna happen where it's like he's gonna make hot news again and just be there at the top, like,
Yep.
and his stuff is gonna pop. Like, obviously, what Kobe ceremony stuff popped again. That was like the
Yeah.
second or third time pop you saw. But I think it slowly, it's just like with anything news, like people aren't gonna buy as much, and the stuff's gonna stay low, and it's just or because of it's just like when football goes away, the stuff is down in football, and if you're someone that's trying to flip and not hold, then it's just you gotta time the market right, and sometimes you're not going to.
Yeah, it's tough.
You
I
gotta
just
be
always
quick on
look
this.
at can a guy double? That's what I look at. And again, on the really expensive guys, it's so hard because it's so much more money.
Right. Yeah.
A $10 rookie can become 20. $1,000 rookie becoming 2,000 is really hard.
Oh yeah. It it would have to obviously overhype. We've seen some overhype like Tua, the perfect
Hmm.
overhype card. I mean, I think, but it's
But
like
even he may be a good buy too right now, right?
he could be. I mean, I'm not touching his stuff with the 10 foot
Yeah.
pole, but
But if
I
he
he
comes out and they build around him, they don't trade for a QB, and he ends up having a winning season and averages 220 yards a game with low interceptions, his stuff will get back to where it was.
yeah, I agree. I still will stay away from his stuff 100%,
Hmm.
just because
Yeah, I'm
that
not buying it.
hip injury scared me. And let's also, since we're talking rookies right now, let's talk some basketball rookies. This is what we didn't touch on earlier. LaMelo Ball coming back, and I think
Hmm.
they said yesterday 7 to 10 days. So he'll probably be back with. There's 13, 14 games left. He's played about you said earlier 41, so that might put
Yep.
him over 50. With the rookie of the year chase being so wide open, I mean, people that were selling his stuff off and have kept it. I mean, now they're looking pretty smart, or
Yeah.
just I would say pretty patient, not smart. I mean,
Well, his Prism base this week are starting to do about 150 to 170 again.
and so yeah, and that's gonna obviously go up. And if people have already graded those prisms, I mean,
Hmm.
those things are gonna go insane probably here with his
Yeah.
return. I mean, man, what do you think those? I obviously on you can see on eBay on auctions like those some of those things were selling for over 1,000, right? Just raw when the first box dropped, right? Some people wanted the card so bad that they were
Oh,
selling
yeah.
insane price for them. Um, But yeah, I mean, if you have those stuff graded, and I mean that guy comes back and he wins Rookie of the Year, I would sell it right away. I mean,
What's
man,
so brutal right now is like PSA is still taking express shipments for the high dollar grading, the 300 and 600 level.
yeah.
And I had one card I was thinking about doing the other day, and it's 10 weeks right now to do the $300 service.
Oh man, it's really for the 1 to 2 day express service that it's supposed to be. Wow.
So I'm not doing it. I just
Yeah,
decided not to grade it, but it's just brutal because it's like you're paying all that money and you're still now waiting months. That's how
yeah.
behind they are.
Yeah, that's insane. Oh wow, that's crazy. You want to tell us who the player was?
It was a LeBron Chrome.
Oh, nice. Well,
Yeah.
that'd be worth grading, but I mean, obviously LeBron stuff's not going down, so why pay that money? Um,
Yeah, I'm just not going to do it. I looked at Beckett, and they're also about 5 weeks. So I was just like, meh.
yeah. Well, I mean, 5 weeks is 5 weeks is attainable just because the finals is going to play until late June. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, still, you're not looking pretty well there. But yeah, Lamelo, I think if he comes back and just even averages 20 a game and is consistent, and that team could win because they are going to the playoffs too. They're going to be in the play-in tournament. Um, I think he's going to win the Rookie of the Year. No one really. Anthony Edwards, his numbers are just not good. He's averaging
Yeah.
high because he shoots so much, and Halliburton just being on the Kings. I just think that Lamelo and what he's already done, and if he could do 10 more games, I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year. And I
Yeah. I just
and
hope he
I
comes back.
I think he's just deserving. I just think he deserves it. You know.
Yeah. And if he comes back and he's even mid level
He
dominant, that'd be great.
he'll be the right choice. That's why I just think he's the right choice for the Rookie of the Year. But yeah,
Well, and it's
I,
good for the hobby, too. Like, we need a guy.
yeah, exactly. He is. I think it's definitely a lot better than what last year, where it was kind of like you know people were thinking so much of it should have been Zion. When I think definitely John Morant was the right guy for the pick. Obviously, playing more games and all that. But this year, with only it being 72 games, playing only missing 20 is not bad for the Rookie of the Year, especially when a year where it's so wide open. It's not like the MVP chase where it's so close.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
Yeah. I hope he comes back because it's good for the
yeah,
hobby. I mean, we need to have somebody to drive prices.
let's talk. I want to do a little segment here. Who are your top five favorite players to ever, like, it could be baseball, football, basketball, boxing, MMA, I don't care. Who, like, to watch? I think I already know who one's going to be. You said Curry earlier, but like, yeah, just any
Yeah. I mean,
player.
Curry's my number one in NBA for sure. And I grew up in the Jordan era. So, I mean, I watched a lot of Jordan's finals live.
Right.
Um, so I'm going to give you Curry, Hulk Hogan,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Hollywood.
larger than life. Tiger Woods in his prime.
Okay. I didn't know you dabbled in golf, really, but yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm a fan of talent. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. That's true.
um, I hate it, but Brady,
Why do you hate
just
it?
because again, I'm just not. I'm a Peyton Manning fan, so it's hard. I'm not a Brady fan, but I'm a fan of the talent.
Oh, okay. I know. I always hear you talking about the breaks. If you hit the Brady jersey, I will pay you 1,000.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
sorry. I thought you were like the
it's
number
just
one Brady guy.
no, not at all. I mean, I accept that he is the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
There's just he is a big piece of why the football hobby is what it is.
Oh, for sure.
And then if I had to pick baseball, I'm going Griffey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Not bad picks at
Yeah.
all. Not bad picks.
What's
Um,
yours?
let's see. So for basketball, I'm gonna say right now. I mean, if Vince Carter, I wanted to put Vince Carter on this list, but I'm
Mm,
gonna do an honorable mention. Vince Carter was there for me as a kid. I mean, just his dunks were so electrifying. I mean, no one can ever touch those dunks. But I'm gonna say Dirk Nowitzki for me, basketball. I mean,
okay.
I love Dirk's game. I mean, that guy was awesome. Dirk,
Hmm.
I gonna put another player in there who I just thought was just so much smarter than anybody else on the floor. Um, is Steve Nash.
Okay.
Steve Nash was just again on another realm, smarter than every other guy on the floor. Just and those teams that he took to the Western Conference Finals and the playoffs. I mean, just no talent there. I just think people forget how great of a player Steve Nash was. And he did win an MVP in 2006, seven, I believe. But yeah, Steve Nash is there. Another player who I like, and I know it sounds like all basketball, but Ray Allen, the second greatest pure shooter of all time, and just Curry's over. Oh man, come on, dude, you're such a hater. Ray Allen is
Stats. Stats.
dude. Stats are overrated. Harden would be the. Come on, man. Like you want to talk about stats, like you would probably think Harden's the best player in the league every year. Or look at Westbrook. Just look at Westbrook's stats. Come on, man. Yeah, exactly. Westbrook should not have won the MVP that year. That was all Harden.
Oof.
Come on, dude.
Oof.
I don't care if you average a triple double. Like, how good
Go
is your team?
on.
That guy got put out in the first round.
All right, so Raymond Jefferson Allen, I think his name is Raymond Allen. Some guy that used to play for, who do you play for? The Celtics or Seahawks or who was it?
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Supersonics. Ray Allen. Who do you play
Oh,
for?
Ray. Oh, I think yeah, Ray Allen. Yeah. Well, he was drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks, and then he played for the Sonics, and then obviously got traded over to the Celtics and became a great player. But yeah, Ray Allen definitely one of those players. And then yeah, 4 and 5 are Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is right there. I mean, dude,
Yeah,
when Peyton Manning, that's why I mean, just smarter than I've never seen a smarter quarterback.
yeah.
Besides like Brady, like just
He's just so much more likable than Brady too. That's what's tough.
uh, yes and no. I think yeah. Well, obviously Brady being on the Patriots, that didn't you know that's why. But I think Peyton Manning for everything that he just did, and I mean just being a really likable guy was just the thing, man. Peyton
What didn't
Manning.
hurt that he had the pedigree too. I mean,
I mean
you're
that
a lot of
that
rings in that household.
that guy on the field, man, was just so much smarter. I remember when Ed Reed had picked him off. I know. I think they were talking about this. This was Belichick's like favorite play of of one of the against Peyton Manning. But Ed Reed had changed direction very quickly, and he knew Peyton Manning was going to go to, I think it was Marvin Harrison or Reggie Wayne. But he changed direction, went towards it, picked him off, and Manning was like, "What the heck?" But this just shows you how smart Peyton Manning was, man. He just knew it, and I just love the way he flinged the ball. Just one of the best looking quarterbacks of all time. And
No,
yeah,
yeah, for sure.
those are my guys. And I mean, I have a lot for baseball, but I just those guys are just hard to pick because I love watching them growing up so much. But
Yours
yeah,
would probably be Degrom, right?
baseball. No, I'm talking about growing up. I think
Okay.
I loved watching Johan Santana. Before he became a Met, I liked watching him a lot. Um, who else? I'm trying to think. And baseball, but
Who was your one pitcher that was like 300 pounds? What was his name?
pitcher that was 300 pounds for the Mets.
Yeah, didn't you guys have a big old
Oh
boy that
man,
used to?
hey man,
What's his name?
Don't hit on Bartolo Colon.
Yes, that
Guy hit
guy. I love that guy.
that 40-year-old guy hit a home run in
Uh-huh.
Petco Park. Oh man, that was so awesome. I remember watching that game live. I was like, I couldn't believe it. That was like I was
Yeah.
watching every Met, and I still almost do watch every Met game, but man, it's like that
Did they
was
win? Did they win? Question for the day: did they beat the Cubs tonight? Because the Cubs can't hit, but the Mets can't hit either. So
well. Yeah, that game was postponed yesterday, so you're talking about the game,
ah,
and we're playing the Phillies right now. The Met,
okay.
the Mets, yeah. So like our game was postponed yet again. They've had like 7 postponements. It's really bad, but good record right now. 7-3 Mets, or 7-4 Mets. Yeah, but yeah, man. Um, yeah, I think that's a fun segment. I think we should do like our top 5 favorite. That'd be something we should do. And let's move into our other segment, the why would you not? What is your why would you not for the week? Our lifestyle advice for you guys at home out there. What is yours, Ken?
Mine this week is gonna be: why would you not have a backup plan?
Yeah, that's a really good one.
So
There's nothing wrong with the backup, not having a backup plan.
I found myself in that situation this week of not having a backup plan and realizing that even though I own my own business, I'm at the mercy of a lot of other companies.
Right.
And when my current website shut us down and asked for a bunch of business documentation to justify our sales, it essentially put me out of business for half a day. And then I decided to open up a new website and get a new payment processor and go through all this headache. But if I would have had that backup plan in place, it would have been a seamless transition instead of a super stressful transition.
Okay.
So I think that translates to other things in life. Sometimes, you think you're on a path and that that's the path you should be following. But I think it may help to even quantify it on paper to have a backup plan. Like if this doesn't work out, this is what I'm going to pursue instead, whatever it may be in any avenue, in business especially. I think it helps.
Oh, fantastic! It's great advice, and I really like that. Yeah, it's a I think it's pinnacle to have a backup plan. And people are like, "Oh no, it's all this or nothing." That's actually I think a terrible way to look at your business. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
all long, good.
there's a famous quote that says, "Don't have a plan B because it takes away from plan A." And me personally, like, I don't think that works for me. I like to have a safety net.
Yeah,
That's one of the reasons I like vintage baseball cards is because I think they're a hedge against taking shots at young kids. You know,
yeah.
that's my safety net in the card world.
No, and I agree. Yeah, and just because you have a plan B doesn't mean you can't focus on plan A. But when plan A might not work out, it feels pretty darn good to have a plan B. That's
Well, it
all I
takes
would
away
say.
a lot of the stress, right? It takes away the fear and the stress associated with change. Because, I mean, we're as autonomous human beings, like we don't like change. Like we like to kind of go along and plod along what we think the right course is. But if you have that plan B in place, maybe
And
the stress isn't there.
it's definitely a great way to endure change. I think enduring change every few years is good for whatever business or just trying out new things. It's definitely older. I think we definitely need to challenge ourselves in different ways, and change is a part of that for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. What's yours?
My why would you not for the week is why would you not read something new, learn something new. So right now I'm reading Mark Cuban's book, and it's really interesting. And what I love about it, actually, let me rephrase that. I'm not reading it. I'm listening to his book. I can't. I'm just not a good reader. I listen to stuff a lot better than I read. But his book is really good. It's How to Win by Mark Cuban. Came out with this book a few years ago, and it just talks about his business and how he got started before he became the Dallas Mavericks owner. And he has a lot of tangible, just habits and advice in the book that are just really it gives you a different perspective. I listen to a lot. I listen to a lot of self help books, but
Hmm.
Mark Cuban's what I like about his it's a really short read. It's not long. If you listen to it, it's only like 2.5 hours, which is awesome. Awesome. But I like to go. I like to listen to the books and I go back and re-listen and I take notes on certain things that I
Yeah.
really liked. And yeah, man, why would you not want to learn something new today? Go out and read or listen. It doesn't have to be a book. It could be a podcast. Try a new podcast out, but still listen to this one because we love you guys and we want to maintain
Yeah,
our listeners. But yeah, man, go out and learn something new today. That's my why would you not for the week.
I like it.
Yeah, man. And it's easy to lose sight of things day in day out. Like yesterday you said your website went down, huge headache, huge pain.
Yeah,
I mean,
massive.
reading like this makes you realize that everybody goes through something. You're not the
Hmm.
only one going through something. I mean, even yesterday my day was like, oh man, it's like I got to get all this stuff done. It's okay. Everyone's going through that at one point or another. It might not be the same day, but at one point or another throughout the week, someone's gone through a stressful time, or it's it's okay to just collect yourself and go after it. You know, but yeah, and we
Yeah,
didn't we that's our lifestyle advice for the week. I don't think we decided on a box. Do you have a box near you for opening?
I have $1,000 Prism soccer box if you want to get wax.
um, not at that price. That's a little too steep for my pockets. Unless you just want to open it, crack it.
No. Let me find something. Hold on.
All right, guys. Yeah,
Do
this is
your
what.
card on your desk until
Oh
then.
yeah. That's right. And I pulled out my card for this week is my Ray Allen 2003 Topps Chrome Supersonics. I just really like the looks of that card. For you guys watching on YouTube, you could see this. Uh, the Ray Allen card is just really awesome. I think one reason why I love the Ray Allen card is people just think of him people just think of him as a 3-point shooter, and he was not only a 3-point shooter. The guy was really an all-around player for a while before he became the spot-up shooter on the Celtics that everyone knew him as. Yes, he is one of the greatest 3-point shooters of all time, behind Curry. But that guy could dunk, that guy could drive, he could distribute, and he did that on the Bucks and the Sonics. And he went toe to toe with Iverson in 2001 before they got put out.
So here's a fun question.
What's that?
I cannot tell you a single thing about that person you just showed me, and I'm in the baseball card business.
Well, that's
I do not know who that is at all. But no, here's the question. Do you know who my guy is that I'm going to show?
is it baseball?
It is. This
Oh,
is.
is that
All right,
Ted?
hold on. This is rough. Yeah.
Is that Ted Williams?
Come on.
I can't see.
It is not. I'm trying to make it work. There we go. Nope, we're still not there. Are we there? All right.
Who is that? I can't.
All right. So it's
There's a
super
glare.
terrible. Yeah, it's terrible glare. So this is a 1962.
George Thurman.
It is not. It is a Roger Maris,
Oh,
1962, and it is a game card from a board game.
oh, okay. Wow.
So I like Maris stuff. I have lots of weird Maris stuff. This is a T coin from a convention in 1962, Maris. Um, but do you know a single thing outside of home runs? Because you've probably heard of that about Roger Maris.
I know there's a few interesting stories about him. Obviously, the home runs are one thing. Him playing on the Yankees, they won what 2 or 3 titles with the Yankees.
Yep, won an MVP in '61.
Maybe more titles with the Yankees. I'm not too sure, but well, he won the MVP the same year he hit the home runs, right?
Year before.
Oh, year before. Okay, got it.
Mhm.
Okay, what's an interesting fact about Roger Maris that we don't know?
He ended his career with the Cardinals,
Oh, okay. Well, the Cardinals.
1968.
Huh, I'll just take a
He
shot.
played 68 and 69 on the Cardinals.
Well, tell us an interesting fact. We don't want to hear Cardinals facts. We want
He
Cardinals
was
facts.
not actually a rookie with the Yankees. Most people only associate him with the Yankees. He was actually a rookie with the Cleveland Indians.
Oh, okay.
So he played on 3 different teams. He was a 1960 MVP. He was, as Zach said,
How
um,
how did the Yankees just get so lucky with getting players from other teams and them just being, God, man. I mean, him, Babe Ruth, obviously Mantle, what was a part of their organization.
yeah.
Uh, but just like going down the line, it's like, man. I mean, obviously we know them nowadays of buying other players and stuff like that. But it's like before, like what built their dynasty and just
Do you know what Mantle's jersey number is?
I don't.
It's 7, but at one point it was 6.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
But
Weird baseball facts.
yeah, a lot of baseball facts. Did you find a box?
I found a pack because otherwise it's going to be real expensive.
Okay.
1920 Chronicles pack. These are for sale for $35 on our website.
That's,
So here you go. I'm going to hit you something.
I know. Please don't give me a dud like you did last week. That was
Yeah, I think we just threw those in the trash. No, we sent them to you. They were
I,
terrible.
I
Okay, well, you're going to be happy. Have you sent payment yet?
for this. No, I didn't. I sent.
Well, hold on. Maybe I should put this one down here. How about a Ja Morant posterizing Kevin Love rookie
Okay.
Luminance, one of the most iconic cards of the entire year.
Yes.
At one point, I was selling these for 175 a piece and getting it all day long.
I like that
This
card a
card
lot.
currently brings about double your money on the pack, and I think is going to be over 100 very soon.
Yes. And
So we're going to sleeve that up.
I'll take it. Get now. Let's find a Zion autograph Chronicles in
Oh,
there.
that wasn't enough. Okay. Okay.
No,
Let's see.
I need a big win this week.
I feel like you just big win there. Cam Reddish. Yeah, the rest of this pack is trash.
Okay.
I mean, it's great. You should buy more. Yeah, there's just nothing here.
Okay.
Cam
I'll try
Reddish,
later.
Romeo Langford, Blandon Clark. And there's a lot of vets in here.
Okay.
Romeo, the Thibault's cool. It's
Yeah,
got griffins on it, which is the greatest animal of all time.
yeah.
Yeah, the rest of this pack is hot garbage. But winner.
Yeah, I would take that John Morant in a heartbeat. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I have
That
13
well
of these, and I would love to have 100 of them.
that's that's going in my PC. I like that a
Oh,
lot.
for sure. That is a good card. I
It is
think
a
you
good
guys
card.
should have a ton of those.
Yeah, especially when that guy 3 to 5 years from now. That's the hold. His stuff 3 to 5 years. Zion may be the hotter item right now, but I think long term, that guy is going to be like a. I mean, just take it to another level every year kind of player.
Well, and I kind of feel like on that card, it's going to be somewhat iconic in that it's similar to the Billy Ripken F face card. And it's also similar to like the LeBron chalk toss. It's similar to the Kobe LeBron, and then now the
Yeah.
2021 LeBron dunk. Like it's just one of those iconic, awesome images.
What LeBron Topps Chrome card do you have? His rookie, or do you have the one with him and Kobe?
Oh, I mean, all of the above.
Oh, got it. No, I meant the one that
Yeah.
you graded. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was a rookie. Yeah, it was a
Oh,
rookie.
that was it.
Yep.
That the Kobe LeBron Topps Chrome Kobe. That one's just so cool.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a handful of those.
Yeah. I have the Kareem card. It's somewhere in here. Oops, dropped my mic. Um, it's Kareem and I don't even know where it's at, but it's Kareem doing a skyhook over Wilt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one's
Classic
cool.
card.
Yeah, I love that card.
But see, I mean, things like that are just cool. Like,
Yeah, that card's going nowhere. That was I bought that card for $10 off some guy. I was like, I'll definitely take this. Yeah, I mean, I think the cream stuff is so undervalued. His stuff.
no, for sure.
I mean, the fact that you could buy some cream cards for like $10. I mean, why would you not buy his cards?
Well,
We should do a why would you not buy their cards? Hot buy.
I mean, if we did, like, I would transition to football and say you can buy like 30-year United stuff for $10.
Oh yeah,
That's real
especially.
weird.
Well, yeah. I mean, just give it what five. I mean, obviously the way the market's going, just give it 5 or 10 more years and watch all this stuff just explode.
I think vintage football is drastically underpriced. Vintage basketball is starting to get expensive,
Yeah.
but vintage football is drastically underpriced. The problem with vintage basketball, though, and I've got some on my desk randomly. There's so much just weird, like this is really tall and doesn't have a holder that makes sense. And then you got like this scenario, like what the heck do you do with this? It's bigger than my head. Like they have all these weird sizes, and it's just like a lot of the big rookies are in those years, and
Yeah.
But then like that's kind of cool. Tobacco card, Redmond tobacco from the 50s. Like, I mean, I don't know.
It. I know it's interesting for sure. But
My desk always has weird stuff on it.
yeah, no. Well, you have tons of card. We would be disappointed if you didn't have weird stuff being a card shop owner. We
Yeah.
yeah. All right, man. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we head out here?
Yeah, let's do this. Who is your right now prediction for Rookie of the Year, MVP, and NBA championship winner right now?
MVP, it's Joker, and
Okay.
the championship, man. It's just God, it's so wide open, and I mean, I'm just gonna go with default Lakers. I mean, I just think LeBron comes back and still is the best player in the world, like he is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so wide open. I could be wrong. I mean, there could be
And
winners.
Rookie of the Year, are you still saying LaMelo?
It's LaMelo. That guy comes back. I don't think anybody really had an idea besides some of the writers. There was no definitely definitive clear guy, but LaMelo coming back just makes it a lot easier for all of them to say. if this guy plays 10 games and averages 15 to 20 points, that he's the winner. Especially because I think although the Kings are going to be in the playoffs and Halliburton will be there, they're going to be in the playing tournament probably. There's just not a definitive clear favorite for it. But yeah. Until next time, man. Until next week, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Sorry, Zach Blanchard. I just saw your comments right now. I don't know why they didn't pop up, man. I apologize to you, Zach. I want to thank you guys all for tuning into the show today. Ken,
Yeah, absolutely.
See you next week.